The SIAM President said that it is still status quo, not much has changed, but the industry continues to find alternatives. Let's listen in.
Yeah, I think, it's been a really welcome move and a major reform which was very much awaited. I would say this was a request by the Automotive Association for a long period of time, I must say. It's a welcome move. It is coming just ahead of the festive season, so there will be a big boost in the short term. And in terms of how this whole thing will pan out is something to be observed. But, let me first talk about the short term. There has been a pent-up which has been building for 1.5 months since the time, after 15th August, people have been waiting for the GST reduction and, waiting to book their cars also. So after this announcement has happened, and then you have seen that pent-up being released in terms of bookings and all, right? But also the second factor which is really going to help is, the festive itself, right? Festive season generally you see is 35% to 40% more than the average, demand during the year. So that I think is really going to help alongside the pent-up demand. And third, we'll have to see the GST rate reduction, how certain customers who are not considering buying cars, how they get excited about this. So something which we'll have to observe over a period of time. But definitely I can say that second half of the year, which typically for, say for example, passenger vehicle industry used to be 55% of the total volume of the year, should see much better percentage, as I would say. That's what I expect. Different segments will get impacted differently. I'm sure that in the car segment you will see the demand growth is going to come mainly in the entry segment and for the middle class income group. For two-wheelers, I believe that this is going to be really a big boost, especially for the rural economy, because I understand that urban was doing a bit better than rural. Now I think with this and monsoon which has been good, the rural demand, especially for, I would say, less than 125cc products should really see a good boost. So I hope that with this booster, two-wheeler industry will see a new peak after 2019, what they had seen about 2.1 million or 21 million or so. So two-wheeler we are expecting that to go strong. Passenger vehicle I've already spoken about the factors. In long term the addition is going to come from in the entry side. In commercial vehicle I think there is always will be a lag basis how the economic activities grow, how the GDP grows. And the multiplier effect starts coming into play. I think then we'll see a growth in CV segment also. But passenger vehicle segment also is very much correlated to the GDP. Generally it is 1.2 to 1.3 times of your GDP growth. So there will be short term, mid term, long term that we'll have to see how it pans out, but definitely it's a big booster for the industry.
What is your hope and expectation from the government in terms of supporting the electric mobility going forward? Should they stop subsidies or should they continue only for certain categories?
No, so, we have given our thinking on that to the government. I would reserve that, but definitely the expectation would be to extend the support and continue to extend this support, because there is always a threshold level of penetration that you need to attain before you start withdrawing the incentives or benefit. So policy support till you achieve about 20% of penetration level in all the categories is where one should keep supporting, because that is what you will see globally also.
Right.
The countries which have done well in electric mobility have got that kind of a support from the government till you have attained about 20% penetration. That would be the expectation.
My final question, could you give us a sense of, you've spoken about a lot of tailwinds for the industry, but the headwinds, the problems that the industry is facing right now which need to be overcome, especially the high rare earth magnet issue. Has China started releasing those consignments, or is the situation where it was since the 1st of April?
Yeah, I think, when this issue came up, it came up as a surprise to many of us, and we were caught off guard to start with, but once you face the situation, you start splitting the problem into parts and then try to solve it. I think initially it was more with the inventories that you had, that most of the companies were managing, and then it moved to coordinating with the suppliers to get access to more material, to whatever, wherever from across the world it was possible. Then thinking beyond that, imagining worst case scenarios and all. In two-wheelers, you see people have moved to the light rare earth and all that option, but that is supply is also not, I would say, there fully. In passenger cars also, I'm seeing most of the members also looking for alternatives of exploring alternate sources of raw material, reducing the raw material usage, or if not eliminating. I think all those options are being looked into. But I think as far as the clearances are concerned, to my latest knowledge, it remains status quo. And we are hopeful. Government is very supportive, I must say that. And therefore, we are working closely with the government to see if the situation changes as early as possible. But it is imperative that this issue gets resolved.
So it is still curtailing production to some extent?
I don't think so. Anybody has, except for two-wheeler industry where there had been curtailment of production. I have not seen any other member curtailing the production. Maybe for specific models they would have done, but not to my knowledge.
So in the short and medium term, it seems that industry will have to find alternatives. There is no immediate solution to the rare earth problems in terms of release of consignment.
We are seeing the next 2 month situation, whether we are covered or not. It's in that manner, and then looking for mid-term to long-term solution, as I mentioned.
One of India's largest